Welcome to Underdog Stuff with Gregory and Nesmith live show and podcast. And a lot of you are used to seeing me, well, actually not even seeing me, but maybe hearing me on radio in Harlem every Sunday. And now we'll be adding a new live show every week on Fridays at the Matrix Studio Network. Now, one thing that's different about this is normally I would say I always had a sexy face for radio. The joke being, of course, you can't really see anybody on radio, but now I'll be on online TV on the Matrix. And I don't know if I'll be able to say I'm still sexy enough for the Matrix, but you will now get to watch me and hear me every week. And a lot of you guys know that we cover and we give opinions and we coach around what's going on in society and culture. And we do it with the underdog stuff, the uninhibited, the unavoidable, the unbelievable, the unjust, the underrated, underdog stuff in politics, culture, and personal life. And my show on Sundays is a lot about politics, a lot about culture, and only a little bit about personal life. And so I wanted to add this show called Journey of an Underdog so that we can talk even more personal life, still some culture, and a little less politics on Friday. The why. Well, first, I should probably introduce myself. I've been talking for a little bit. Like, who is this guy talking? It's Gregory Nesmith. I'm an entrepreneur. I am a business and leadership coach, consultant, and also on-air personality. And the reason why I do underdog stuff, which is not just online media, but it's also coaching, it's also consulting, is this whole idea of fighting for underdogs to rediscover how special we are in the world. And the Journey of an Underdog series will be a place where we can talk about both the grind, about the hustle, and also hopefully some of the unexpected fun of the journeys we're all on to go from being underdogs to being on top. And every week, what I'm committed to doing is giving us a place where I'll share, and that means I'll tell you about the personal stuff going on in my life on this journey that I'm on, hopefully leaning in and then giving you a space to share what you're going through on this journey, and then also making sure we have guests on every week to talk about their underdog to on top journey too. And speaking of guests and sharing, on this kickoff show, which I call the test run, because we'll have the official premiere of the show in June, starting next week, we're going to have on with us today Miss Monique, who is the chief, as she calls it, chief in charge of Black to Business. Yeah, they do good stuff. And actually this morning, I woke up to an IG message that said I've been tagged in a post. And I was like, who tagged me in a post? And it turns out it was Black to Business. And their whole thing is, how do they make sure that they connect people in the community to other Black folks doing business? And when I saw that they highlighted some of the work I've been up to, I literally just went into my DM, reached out to them and asked them would they want to come on today and just talk about what they're up to and share a little more, because they're also not only doing their thing, but they're also helping underdogs like me do my thing too. And so I want to shout them out and give them some love this afternoon. First, it's Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial start to summer is about to kick off. During today's show, we'll talk about what's something you're going to do for the first time this summer. Also, every show I'll try to share one of my unwritten rules to being an underdog. And today's unwritten rule is make trades. And I'm not just talking about the ones they make in sports, some of the trades and trade-offs we make in life so that we can go from underdog to being on top. And also we'll have the unwind segment, which is, I'm not going to forget the fact that it's Friday. And while we're all out here hustling and grinding and trying to do what we do, we still get to unwind. And we'll talk about what folks are up to for the weekend, what I'm up to, what you're up to. And we'll talk about a range of topics, just whatever's on people's minds as we get to the close of the show and get ready to start the weekend. So we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, I'll tell you a little bit more about underdog stuff, talk to you about one of the other rules, and then later in the show, we have Monique coming to talk to us about Black to Business. More underdog stuff after this quick break.
The Matrix Radio Vision Live with DWI, live from the BXNY.
Welcome back to Underdog Stuff with Gregory Nesmith. New show, Journey of an Underdog series, where it's a place for talking about the grind, the hustle, and some of the unexpected fun that we're on going from underdog to being on top. And this is the test run of the show. We'll have the official premiere in June, but I didn't want to pass up a chance to, get started, get the cobwebs picked out and all that stuff. And I will say, I am nervous. I do a radio show, and it's a little different to be in the studio where there's like a camera looking right at you. You got bright lights going on. And so I'm getting used to this whole thing of not just being audio, but also being on video. And thank you for coming along on a journey. If you want to call in, I appreciate that, Rashad. A little lights, camera action. And on the ones and twos, I didn't even mention, we got Rashad in the building. And if you want to join the conversation today, it's call in at area code 718-239-9200. That's 718-239-9200. One quick thing. So let's talk about the journey of being an underdog. I have a plan to talk about trades and making trades as one unwritten rule, and I'm going to talk about that. But just one quick aside. It is nothing like being uncomfortable as you're on your hustle and your grind. And I say that because if you want to get from where you are to where you want to go, oftentimes we got to get out of our comfort zones. And I'm excited to be here right now, getting out of my comfort zone. And I definitely know that I'm out of my comfort zone because I normally like to be not just on time, but ahead of schedule. I like to get to places early, have everything all planned out, be ready to roll. I didn't do that this morning. I'm like last minute pulling stuff together. I didn't show up here till like 5 of. Not good. Almost as if I wanted to sabotage that this doesn't go too well. Maybe so I can say, didn't go too well, not too good, not ready to be on camera. I probably should have waited to start this show. Let perfection get in the way of progress, as they say. But the bright side is I'm here. And the bright side is I'm not the only one here doing new things and getting out of their comfort zone and going from underdog to be on top. We have other shows on this network doing that too. And I want to give a shout out to the show that comes on before me, ADR, American Dream Radio, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you'll get to see those underdogs go do their thing, talking about sports and culture and life and music. So shout out to them making it happen. Let's talk about making trades. Appropriate that one of the topics that the show talks about before I come on is sports. We make trades in sports to try to upgrade, get a better player, make the team better. But that trade comes with risk. Whoever you trade for might not be that good. Dating. It's another place we make trades. Folks try to upgrade, trade in who they've been dating for somebody new. That comes with risk too. Sometimes you got to be alone for a little while before you find that next upgrade. Any of us in school right now or getting certifications or working on something, we have to make that trade-off between studying, partying. Should I party tonight? Should I study tonight? Got to make that trade. Ultimately, the trades we make are things that happen immediately, but we hope that they give us an actual benefit in the future. And I did want to share one of the trade-offs I made related to money, because on this journey of being an underdog, I know a lot of you can relate. One of the biggest challenges is, will I have enough money to do this? Can I have money to invest in this? Can I have money to be in the studio? Can I have money to start my business? And so I wanted to share with you a couple examples of how I made some trade-offs to not let money get in the way of me going after what I want to do. And I'd love to hear from you sharing how you've made trade-offs with money so that it doesn't get in the way of doing what you do. And you can do that by calling in at area code 718-239-9200. So the first one, I was just finishing up school, coming to the New York City area, and I wanted to save money to eventually buy a condo. It was a dream of mine. 23, moving to Westchester County, right outside of New York City. And I got to choose about what trades I wanted to make. Now, the job I was going to work at was in Tarrytown, New York. Don't get too excited all at once. For any New Yorkers, they know Tarrytown, New York is not necessarily the big city. It's not. So I wanted to live in the city, but I had to get to work every day in Tarrytown. And I wanted to save money. And I didn't want any roommates. I wanted to live in the city. I wanted to save money, but I didn't want to make a commute to Tarrytown. All that ain't gonna add up. So I had to make trades. And the trade I made was I lived in Tarrytown. I actually went and got a room rental in this lady's house where I had my own entrance, had my own bedroom, a little micro fridge, bathroom, and then I shared a lot of the other things, but I still had my own space. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Saving money. Figured I could take the Metro North train down to the city whenever I wanted to and still save for this condo. But then I remember I started second guessing the choice because some of my friends would make fun of me. They're like, dude, living in a room with a twin bed. And that didn't really get to me as much as there was this woman that I actually was interested in at my job. She was a little older than me. Mind you, I'm like 23. She's like in her late 20s. And I'll never forget, I somehow convinced her to come back to and show her where I live. And I'll never forget, she goes, "This is where you live? How are you getting women with like the twin bed?" And so I was like, dang, maybe this trade-off thing isn't worth it. Friends making fun of me, dating games not looking too tough, but I still stuck it out. And the cool thing was I actually stuck it out for 5 years. I lived in this room rental. And what I started to realize is that sometimes when you're on that grind and on that hustle, there's going to be folks who make fun of you, who don't understand, who just have a different perspective on life than you do. And I think back to that time, and what I found out is that there were still women who would want to date me, even though I lived in a room with a twin bed. And eventually, my friends got on board with the fact that I had a 1988 Cutlass as a car and a room rental in Tarrytown, because they eventually realized that I had a plan, that I was committed to it, and I wasn't going to have anything or anyone stop me. We have a call? And, okay, cool. We'll bring her on right in a second. And so I bring that story up about trade-offs is that I made a trade-off of not living in the city and putting in the work to save money up to eventually buy a place, which I did, and even took some ribbon from a lot of my friends and even this woman that I was interested in. But I say all that to say, if you are starting to get pushed back from people who are like, yo, why are you doing what you're doing, or you should do it differently, keep going. Because guess what? Eventually folks will get on board because they know that you are committed to what you're doing. We have a caller on the line, and I believe that caller is hopefully going to be Miss Monique from Black to Business. She is the chief in charge. I love that. She's not the CMO, the CEO. She's the chief in charge, the CIC of Black to Business. Do we have Monique on the line?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for that introduction.
You are quite welcome. Just so folks know, this was an impromptu interview because this morning I was waking up, getting ready to come do this test run show of Underdog Stuff with Gregory Nesmith, Journey of an Underdog series. And I saw in my notifications that I've been tagged a couple times. And tagged by Black to Business. And first I was like, Black to Business. Yep, I do follow them. And why am I tagged by them? And it's because you guys have something going on called Man Crush May.
Yes, Man Crush May.
Cool. So before we get into Man Crush May and bring the story full circle as to how this whole interview happened, tell folks first, what is Black to Business?
Yeah, definitely. So Black to Business, again, I'm Monique, Chief in Charge at Black to Business. It basically is a platform that I started in December of 2013. It started out of frustration. I am a graduate of Howard University. I graduated in 2013. And I just remember upon graduation, like trying to, it was just in me. I wanted to work for a Black-owned business and, looking around and not seeing many businesses that could afford, but it's also thinking about in terms of like our economic power. So I'm very passionate about business, and then coupled with that was really the Trayvon Martin situation you have going on. So for me, it was all of those things and wanting to do something about the anger, the way that I was feeling, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. So for me, I said, the way that we have power is through resources and ownership. And we have some very bright people in the Black community, creatives. I want to create something that will continue to push that forward so that we can have ownership and inspire our kids to do the same thing. So that's why I created Black to Business in 2013. And what we do is we provide people with the resources and content, to start their businesses, whether it be you're inspired by someone we feature on our website, because like I said before, there are a lot of people doing a lot of great things. We aren't trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to provide a platform that shows what people are doing and encouraging millennials to do the same.
Very cool. Now, like most journeys, it's never as easy as, hey, I woke up one day, you wanted to make this difference, and you start this website, and all runs smoothly. I'm sure it didn't happen that way. What's been one of the challenges that is most top of mind for you right now in actually getting this business started, which has such a good cause? You would think nothing could, or anyone would get in your way, but I'm almost certain what's been at least one of the challenges so far of making Black to Business grow?
Speaking of challenges, you're right. It didn't just go easily. It's of course continuing to build the resources, the audience, but it's also bringing those resources, having the tools to get those resources on the site. We've been getting a lot of great support, especially within the last year or so. But it's definitely continue to grow our audience because there are so many platforms out there. I think what makes us unique is that we specifically choose to focus on the entrepreneur rather than the consumer, but we also are very adamant about the fact that we are solely focused on Black entrepreneurs and those of African descent.
Very cool. Now, what sparked the whole idea of Man Crush May? Just so you know, my friends, when I share with them the news, the first comment people they go, oh, so you're someone's man crush. And I don't think I've ever been someone's man crush, although not that I know of. So with that, what sparked the idea of Man Crush May?
Yeah, Honestly, there are a lot of, we definitely try to think of creative ways to, again, promote, show what people are doing. But there are a lot of things, to be honest, that focus on women. And sometimes it's kind of tough, to find Black men who are doing art just in that one space. So, again, we want to acknowledge the great work that women are doing. So you have the Women's History Month. We took a spin and said, hey, we want to do something for the men. Men may make sense. Social media makes sense. So with our team, we really, a lot of times when we do these lists, it takes us months in advance to pick someone. We have a group, and then we'll vote on the people. So that's how we do it. And we basically just research the people and find out what they're doing, what makes them different. So for men, it was just, let's do something for the men, the Black men.
Very cool. Now, what happened that I was one of the Man Crush May folks?
Yeah, so I think one of the things is, so one of our team members actually introduced us to your platform. It was basically, what you were talking about, like bringing that unique perspective in terms of cultural politics and the personal life. So it's the fact that you don't necessarily do one thing, and you're, in a sense, it could be controversial, which is good, but it seems as though you're taking that step and saying, this is what I'm comfortable with doing, and this is why I know it's a purpose for what I'm doing. So we kind of try to look at people's stories, and that was one of the things that we decided, this is a good, even the title in itself makes sense. This would be good for our list. This is good. We want to share with people what he's doing.
No, hey, I appreciate that. Now, I have a question for you. And my feelings won't be hurt if I'm not the answer to this.
Uh-huh.
Monique, the chief in charge of Black to Business, who is your May man crush?
Oh. Who is my May
This
man
is
crush?
live. Just be careful here. Now, you can try to play both sides here, but answer honestly.
Who is my May man crush? I can't. I'm going to say, this is bad. It may sound bad, but I'm going to say I'm pimping with all the man crushes because it's just so many. But yeah, I just want to keep it like that. There are so many great guys on the platform. Of course, there are people I went to school with. I have like a little. I think there are 2 people we have on the list from Howard University. So excited about, what they're doing. We have Kwaku on there as well. He's doing a subscription box featuring all, African-American products, which I think is dope. And just to see men doing something like that. So I'm going to take that route. But, of course, you are, especially for today, because this was very impromptu, but I like how proactive you are. So a man with persistence and action, I like it.
Hey, no, I appreciate that. And for all the underdogs out there, and just so you know, I'm glad you said that because I have a few unwritten rules of being an underdog to go from underdog to being on top. And one of them is actually I call get speeding tickets. And the whole premise behind that is we get to lean in. It's almost like the kid in us because when we're kids, think about things like riding bikes and things like that. We do a lot of stuff when we're kids that we don't really even know if we're ready to do it. But we just go.
Right.
And in real life, unless you're speeding real fast, what's the worst that happens? You get a ticket, they actually let you then go drive more. Get back in your car and go. And so I'm a big believer in don't wait for perfection. Just start making progress and go make stuff happen. And so, yeah, you tagged me this morning. This is the test run show of the journey of an underdog. You are doing stuff to help underdogs make it happen, especially folks that are near and dear to me, folks in my community, and especially this month featuring Black men. So we made it happen, and we're talking.
We made it happen. And I do want to add to your point just a little, just quickly, which is important, someone doing that and just taking action, because I think so many times as entrepreneurs, we think about just having that, waiting for that perfect time. And you're a great example of that. And recently, I had an opportunity. It was just like it was another Black male. He was just on it, like, let's do it. And just to see that, sometimes it made me even think, maybe you should just do it. Sometimes we don't think, we say it all the time, but just doing it, but it's harder sometimes than it's said than done.
No, just do it. And a shout out to the show that comes on before me, because they're another example of just do it. I showed up here Wednesday just to get a lay of the studio, and next thing I know, they're going, hey, come on air, let folks know about your show that's going to premiere. And again, just people being in the moment, being ready, because who they're being helps them figure out what they're going to do. And so they're being active, they're being a community, they're being the things that are going to go from being underdogs to being on top. So I love it. And so thank you for letting me be a part of what you guys are doing. One thing though, I also like to share tips for underdogs out there. In your experience working with a lot of these businesses, what's one or two tips that you've learned from some of the folks you featured or worked with that you think other underdogs should be thinking about as they look to progress in what they're doing?
What's one or two tips? Definitely a thing that's been showing up a lot for me lately, especially being a platform that consistently promotes. It's important for us to do our research on the company you're looking to reach out to or someone you're looking to work with. You shouldn't email someone and say, what do you do? You should already try to find as much information that you can about that company and then reach out. And it shows that there is a level of interest, something, and it definitely shows that they would want to work for you. So I would definitely say do research. That's one. And also be good to people. Like your connections, your network is truly your net worth. Start building those relationships and, do things for people before you even need them, which is important. So I think relationship building is very important as well. Very,
very cool. Monique, Chief in Charge of Black to Business, I appreciate you being so spontaneous.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, I appreciate you. And for folks out there who want more Monique or more of Black to Business, how can they find you? And then how can they find Black to Business?
Definitely. Everything, you can follow us on every social media platform at Black to Business. We have our website, blacktobusiness.com, and that's TO, not the number 2. If you are interested in, working with us, email us at hello@blacktobusiness. We're also having a Table for 30 brunch for 30 entrepreneurs in New York on July 8th. And if you're not in New York, one of the things we also encourage people to do is join our closed Facebook community for entrepreneurs and small business owners. We allow you to market yourself, share resources, and that community is Black to Business Community. You can reach me directly at Monique@blacktobusiness.com.
Monique, appreciate you. Have a good Friday and good Memorial Day weekend. Talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
And that was Monique of Black to Business, the Chief in Charge. And I love her last 2 points for us out there, underdogs, of make sure you know your stuff. Research. Be up on things, especially those companies or people you're about to go interact with. And then lastly, she says, appreciate, nurture those relationships out there. Because as much as we want this world to be a meritocracy, it does come down a lot to who you know, to at least, if nothing else, get the opportunity. And then what you do can help you keep it. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to do the unwind segment where, this show is about the journey of an underdog and the grind, the hustle, some of the unexpected fun of going from underdog to be on top. But we can't be on 100 all the time. So the last part of the show every Friday is going to be the unwind segment where we just kick it, get ready for the weekend, talk about what folks are going to be up to, talk about one of my favorite subjects like sports and things like that. We got the NBA Finals coming soon. Word is we might even have some folks who know a lot about sports in the studio who might have an opinion on some sports stuff too. More Underdog Stuff with Gregory Nesmith, test run show on The Matrix, coming up after this quick break.
The Matrix Radio Vision Live with DWI, live from the BXNY.
Welcome back to Underdog Stuff with Gregory Nesmith, test run show of the Journey of an Underdog series on the Matrix Studios Network. And I'm joined now in studio by American Dream Radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're in the building as usual.
Yeah.
We live
King
here.
Khalil.
Yes, sir. That's me.
And Cool Ass Trev.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. And for folks who might be just tuning in, you tuned in about 2.5 or 3 hours too late because you should have been here at 11 a.m. because every Monday through Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, American Dream Radio comes on, and then I get the honor to come on right after them on Fridays.
Right.
Pleasure's all ours, brother. Yeah. Pleasure's ours.
Tell folks out there, the underdogs, what you guys cover every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on American Dream Radio.
Music, sports, and life. It's like barbershop talk, you know.
I love it.
I want to say it's Rap City meets ESPN,
Right.
somewhere in there, Sports Center meets some type of block party, something like that, you know.
So then do one of you guys do freestyles and rap like on Rap City?
No, when we say music, we talk about, what's going on, what's new.
Just the culture.
We have basic arguments. Like we had who would you want to see battle, whether they're dead or alive. Like,
Okay.
Things like that.
And you said who?
I said Eminem and Big Pun.
Okay.
Definitely, they threw those out there.
All right. And you said?
I didn't get a chance to say because I'm usually hosting, but I guess now that I'm here now,
Yeah,
I'm sort of relaxing a bit. Who would I want to see battle in a real MC battle? I guess today, because I'm always looking to make a couple dollars out of any situation. I want some of these newer artists that are here. So I like to set up something with Kendrick and J. Cole, and we can get them. What's the park you said they can meet us at?
Oh, yeah, the park on my block, 184th and Morris.
So Kendrick and J. Cole, if y'all here listening, 718-239-9200, y'all can call up and we can set this battle up. We got a man in the middle to sort of mediate. Right. I'm going to take J. Cole, you take Kendrick, and whoever win, y'all just give me and Trev the money, and that's how we're going to do that. So, yeah.
Fair enough. And you guys talked a little sports today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Actually, as I walked in, you were giving out predictions for the NBA Finals.
That's what we do on American Dream Radio.
We giving out unauthentic prediction because I'm not an athlete at all.
And I am a super athlete. So one of us is an athlete, one is not. Y'all decide who y'all want to listen to. I think we're about even right now in the prediction. So I don't know. Y'all got to decide.
June 1st, NBA Finals kick off.
Yeah, excited.
Cleveland against Golden State.
Yes, sir.
The rubber match.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to win, King James or KD?
Well, I'll start this off. My name is King Khalil 400. So
I see where you're going.
It wouldn't be right for me to sit out here and not act like the other king in the building is not going to step up and do some kingly stuff. And I'm a man about mine is one of my statements. So I'm going to go ahead and say Cleveland in 6. And I just think LeBron James is going to be too much of a matchup problem along with Kyrie Irving, just like last year. I don't think anything's changed. The only real change for me is that they took off Harrison Barnes and they put on Kevin Durant. Now, that's a major change offensively, but defensively, I still think that Kevin Durant's going to struggle. And if they put Draymond Green on him, then Kevin Durant is going to be forced to guard Kevin Love in the post. It's still going to end up in the same situation that Harrison Barnes ended up in last year.
Cleveland in 6 games?
Cleveland in 6, that's what I said.
So disrespectful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ass Trev.
Trev, please be the voice of reason.
I'm going with Cavs in 7.
Oh, and Rashad, shut their mics off. We're almost coming to the end of the unwind. I got King Khalil being disrespectful.
That's right.
6 games. And now you're more respectful with the Cavs winning, but in 7?
In 7. The only reason why I say 7 is because these are 2 dynamic teams. There's a lot of good players here. There's a lot of factors to go in here. So that's why I say it's going to go a full-on game.
The only thing I can say is at least you two are picking the underdog.
Good one.
Right.
Good one.
And I appreciate that. So shout out to King Khalil.
Yes, sir.
And Cool Ass Trev. American Dream Radio.
Yep.
Monday.
Wednesday.
And Friday.
Friday.
What time?
12 to 2 p.m. Monday and Wednesday. And on Fridays, we go early. We go 11 to 1 because we needed to make some room for you to come on right after us. So
Appreciate you.
they tune in at 11 and they'll stay all the way here to what, 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
The Friday block, get their weekend started.
Yeah, get 'em right.
Exactly. Start your weekends off with us. Come have lunch with us.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you two both. And I appreciate all the Matrix listeners out there, all you underdogs. Underdog. Journey of an Underdog series. It's official. The premiere will be next week.
Yeah.
And we'll get it started. It is a place where we'll talk about the grind, the hustle,
Yeah.
And even some of the unexpected fun of going from underdog to being on top.
Oh, shout out to the underdog.
Yep, appreciate you. We'll be back next week. And on Monday, tune into American Dream Radio.
12 o'clock.
We out. Peace.
Thank you.